Hello guys, welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to create a simple Django project, and then we are going to discuss in detail about the files that are created uh, within this project and their folder structure. Then what we are going to do is we are going to build a very simple application and just display a page from the web server. Okay, so let's start it. I'm going to my Linux box. Um, so first thing, let me create a simple project. So the command to create a project is Django admin.py start project. So uh, this project we are going to get some employee information and manage it in a database. So I'm going to name the project as employee management, MGMT. So what this line did was it created a simple project called employee management, and you can see it here. So when I go inside this folder, you should see a set of files that's being created. So one is, you see a outer folder which is called the employee management, and within that you should see a folder called employee management. So this would be the folder structure. It's just a container, and it really doesn't matter to project. You can name it whatever you want, this one, but this folder will be your project name. So if you want, you can go ahead and rename this employee management, the outer folder structure. All right. So now what we saw is it created a file called manage.py. Okay. So let me use that dir command. So it created a file called manage.py. So what is this manage.py? This is a utility to manage your Django project. We will come into it very soon, probably next 2 minutes. So let's go ahead and discuss about the other folder called employee management. So within this employee management folder, you should see 3 files that's being created. One is the init.py, the settings file, the URLs file, and WSGI file. So in short, the init file is nothing but it makes it as a package. So if your guys are new to Python, you need to understand what a package is. So you got to understand what a package is. So next, going to the settings.py file, let me open that. So within the settings.py file, you should see a lot of information within it. Don't get overwhelmed. It's very simple. So let me explain few parameters. The first thing is the base directory. A base directory, you can use this base directory keyword within your application to know what's your base directory. And we are not going to use it right away, but it's very helpful. Then you should see a secret key. This would be a key for every project. A unique key will be generated. Then you should see parameters called debug, template debug. So by default, debug mode is set to true. So what this means is Django will show you what is the actual debug messages on the templates. We should see it very soon. And template debug is similar to debug. It's used to debug the templates. Templates are nothing but the HTML file that you are going to see. And then we have the installed apps keyword. Django comes with a lot of applications. So what is an application? So an application consists of a lot of apps within it. So that's what they call it as apps. So application or a project. So I could say application or project contain lot of, or I can put this way, a project contain lot of applications. So Django comes with a lot of built-in application. It comes with a admin application, authentication application, content types, sessions, message, and static files. So these are called the applications. We will be building a lot of application within our project. So for example, for our project, apart from Django given applications, inbuilt application, what we saw like session management, messaging, etc., we will build an application to collect employee information. Then we will build an application to collect to manage session management. Then we will build an application to build and manage all our feedbacks, and then we'll build an application to manage all our services. So this is what you called as apps. A project is made up of numerous apps or applications. So that's what is application. So anytime you create a new application, you got to come and add it here, and we are going to see that very soon. And next one is the middleware classes. There are a lot of middleware classes. It's not really for basics, but we will talk about it very soon in our later chapters. And the next thing is the root URL conf and WSGI application. The root URL conf is nothing but where all your URLs are mapped. So this is the file for it. So this is where your URLs will be mapped. So this is what it's been mapped under root URL conf. So next one is the WSGI application. All Python application are called WSGI, and this one we are not going to use right away, but this is more for deploying it on an Apache web server. Then we have the database. We can use any kind of database. Here we are using SQLite. SQLite is one of the lightest database. It's not like your traditional MySQL or Oracle or SQL Server, but more it's a very light SQL database. So Django by default creates a SQLite database for you, and the file name will be like db.sqlite3. And the next thing is what will be the language code, time zone, and then the static URL. Static URL is where your static files like JavaScript, HTML, CSS are deployed, and we are going to talk in detail about this static URL as well in our later tutorial. So now we have talked about settings.url, settings.py and urls.py file. The next one is the WSGI file. So this file we use more to deploy Django in Apache web server. I have a separate video for it, how to deploy Django in Apache web server. In this project, we are going to use inbuilt lightweight web server that's given by Django for us to test the project. So we have all the information right now. Now the thing we have to do now is we have to run this project, right? We have this project, and you really want to see whether this project is all set up right or not. So how do you run your project? To run your project, we use this utility manage.py file, and then you say run server. That's the uh, keyword to run your project. And when you do that, by default Django is going to run your project in a server, and that server address is given here. So what we do is we make a copy of this and let's open a browser. All right, so we are all set. Django has been successfully installed and you can see the page. So we are run a simple Django application. So the next thing what we are going to do is we are going to create a very simple application. As I mentioned, a project will contain many apps, and right now we are just going to create one simple app. So the command to create an application is, okay, let's stop the server for now. The command to create application is manage.py start app, and we are going to call our application as collect simple or a sample. Okay, sample application. So we'll create a new app called sample, and this command will create this app. So now when you go and see it, you should see another folder called sample within the folder, and let's go and see what did Django do with the simple application. So it created 4 files. One is the admin.py file, models, test, and views. Admin.py file is used to manage the admin. We are not going to talk about it here. The next one is the models. Models are nothing but your data, where you get your data, how the tables are mapped to the database. So all this information are going to be given in the models, and we are going to talk about it in a separate video. For now, we are just going to display a simple web page, and what we have to do is for that we have to add some piece of code in views.py file. The test.py file is used to write test cases on all the objects that you create. So let's open this file called views.py. So right now you don't have anything under views.py file. So we are going to create a simple view for our project. So let's go and create a simple view called start page. So start page is the default page that's going to be loaded when you hit the default URL. So it takes a parameter called request, and then we are going to use a shortcut called render to response. So what this is going to do is, I know it won't be much clear right now, but slowly it will make sense. So we are going to return a page called start page .html when the user hits our the development server URL. So we haven't created the start page.html. We are going to create it, and this is what you call it as a template. So we are going to create a folder called template uh, under your project directory, and Django, what it will do is to display any templates or HTML page, it will go to this template directory and get the content. So how to do that, I'm going to show you right now. So let's first create a directory called template under the project directory. So it's created. Let's create a page called start page.html. Let's create a very simple page. A HTML page will contain a head and a body. Wrapped under a HTML tag. So this is the content that's going to be displayed. We are going to display our name, and the content will be welcome to the page. And we are going to pass the name parameter. From the views, we haven't done it yet. We are going to do that. So right now we have done a couple of things. One is we have built a view, and then we created a template, and now we got to create our URLs. So let's go to our urls.py file. Let's go to our URLs file, and let's say what view will be called when the user enters the IP address. So this is a caret symbol, and you give a dollar symbol and then say the start page, right? Start page is views, and where do you get that information from? You get it from sample.views import start page. So just to give an overview, we created a urls.py file. So whenever the user hits the default IP address, it is going to go to the sample.views. It is going to the app called sample.views, and it's going to call the start page function, and the start page function will then respond the start page HTML, which we have already given. So we are given all the information here. Let's once again have a quick look at our views.py file. So the start page function will be called. Then if that is called, we are going to see the content of the start page.html. One thing we forgot to add is the name. We gave a template tag within our HTML file to display the name, and we are going to display this name. All right, we are all set now. I missed a quote here. So we are all set now. So there are a couple of things we have to do before we run our project. There are a couple of things that we need to do. One is we have to add our application, the new app called Sample that we created within our installed apps. So what you do is you go to the installed apps parameter and just add sample. And the next thing is we got to map our template directories so Django can go and pick up the template directory. So we have this parameter called template underscore dirs. So it's not there. So we have to go and add this variable called template underscore dirs. Django framework will go and look for this folder and will load the content. So the start page is given under template directory. So you say where you created this template directory. I'm not sure whether we created templates or template. So we have created a directory called template. So let's go and change it to template. All right, so we are all set to run the simple project. Let's go and run our server. Alright guys, it's pretty cool. So we were able to successfully run this application. So we hit this URL. Django will go to the urls.py file and then pick up the view, which is the start page that's given in views.py file of the sample app, and that function will return a start page.html which is being displayed here, and the content name is being replaced by whatever we passed from the server. So this is a very simple Django application, but we did a lot in this application. So it's going to be really easy in the future to build on top of the application because we have done all the initial work. Thanks for watching my video. You can watch my next tutorial and see how I build this application slowly. Thank you very much. Bye bye.